I was living in Japan for 14 years, and I've been attending university and working at the same time, trying to get some qualifications. And the life and the family and the career that I'd built in Japan for 14 years, it all came crashing down. I was told I would just be detained for maybe just several hours or at least a day or two, but it ended up stretching out, and they just prolonged it to the extent that I was detained for over 7 months. Being locked up, confined in a room, in itself is just a horrible experience. In my case, I was in like a 2 meter by 2 meter little tiny room with a wash basin and a toilet and a little hatch where the guardsmen would, give me food or give me a message or something. And you're there literally with nothing to do except look at the bare walls. I felt like, less than human, less than a member of society. My privacy is gone. They'll do naked physical body checks. They watch me take a shower. They'll shout at me, push me around. I felt like, honestly, it was just really dehumanizing and humiliating experience.
Isolation is always an issue, particularly if you're many miles away from home in a country that you don't speak the language of. So Prisoners Abroad tries to reduce that isolation and make sure that people know that they haven't been forgotten about. One of the things we do is provide free post envelopes to people. We also try to send out reading materials, so books, magazines, newspapers, things to keep your mind ticking over, which can be very important when you're not communicating with the people around you.
The people who I'm really indebted to right now is Prisoners Abroad, who also sent me a lot of pamphlets as well. It's like gold dust because every little word you can get is just really valuable because you've got nothing else to do. As the months dragged on, I slowly realized that I had to just let go of the idea of living in Japan, despite the fact that was my life. So I knew I would be coming back here with no connections, and in a way, it's a completely different country. It's changed a lot, and I was not in London before, so coming back to London, I didn't even know what an Oyster card was or anything like that. So I was really intimidated. Then I started thinking, where could I go? And then I saw Prisoners Abroad. They have this really solid action plan about restarting in your home country, and it just gave me a glimpse of hope during that dire time.
Another thing that's important is that when people are isolated as they are in prisons far away and unable to communicate with the prison authorities or with other prisoners, they've got a lot of questions that they need answers to. And caseworkers at Prisoners Abroad are receiving free post envelopes full of letters with questions in. Some of those questions are easy to answer, some of them are incredibly difficult, but we do our very best to provide the information that people need just to feel a little bit more secure and to know what the future holds.
I did my time in 7 different federal facilities in America. In 2016, after 23 plus years, I was released and deported back to the United Kingdom. This is my home country. For a long time, I would be there, no mail. So after a while, to save myself the embarrassment, I don't bother go to mail call, and a lot of people experience that. One evening, they tell me, they say, you have mail? I said, I got mail. And I went down there, my name was actually on the list for mail. And I went and get the mail, and it was 2 manila envelopes, big manila envelopes, and it came from Prisoners Abroad. I've never heard of Prisoners Abroad before. And in those, in the package were football magazines, newspaper, a card. The card was signed, I have like 10 little signs in it. And it was so amazing to me because I'm saying, who these people? And what that did for me that kind of gave me a sense of surety that I was not actually alone. So even sometime when I would feel sad, I would just know that when I reach England, I'm going to go to prisoners abroad. And that provides a sense of security for me.
So we do recognise emotional wellbeing is a fundamental part of service users' problems that they face. Deportation is a very, very traumatic experience. So Prisoners Abroad plays a really important role. Us as resettlement officers, we play an important role. We are a safety net for them. We actually provide a lot of emotional support. Just knowing that you have a resettlement officer that you can call and say, this is how I feel. We can try and provide practical and emotional support. Having a conversation on the phone for 15 minutes, half an hour can be what stops somebody doing something that's going to be detrimental to them.
Coming home was a state of anxiousness. I was extremely concerned. I haven't been in freedom for 20-something years. I was scared of the streets. I was scared of the vehicles. I was scared of the people. I remember that morning I went to come down here. I was coming here, and that would be the first time I was going to travel by myself. And I was stuck on the platform. But when I came home, you guys was there, Prisoners Abroad was there, and they supported me. They get me psychological support. They get me housing support. They get me support from the government. They get me to find a place in a hostel for me to stay until I get the apartment. That kind of helped me to kind of reintegrate it back into normality, if you will.